Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Jessica and today I'm filming my project pan update for the month of August. Here we are in 2023 and this is my rolling project pan, which is where I'm consistently working through 10 different makeup, skincare, beauty care, mostly makeup items to try and use them up completely. In most cases, there are a few special little caveats that I have in this rolling project pan, but most of the time I am trying to get these products used up and emptied and out of my makeup inventory for good. So I'm gonna get right on into this update today. I'm gonna go through each of the 10 items, starting with the items that have been in this project the longest, and I'm gonna give you all of the data points. I'm gonna tell you when I brought it into the project, how much it weighed when it came in, what my goal is for that item, how many times I've used it in the past month, how much of the product I've used in the past month, and how many times I've used it total. And I'm sure there's other data points I'm gonna throw in there too. Lots of numbers in these videos because I just love them. I'm a numbers gal, always have been. But before we get into it, please take a moment to give this video a quick thumbs up. Let the YouTube algorithm know that you love my project pan videos. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel so you're around for all of my video updates. Let's go ahead and get into the video. First three items are all long haul items that came into this project at the very beginning of the year in January. And the first one is from Tarte. It is in their Pro Glow palette and I'm working on the bronzer shade, contour shade, the powder in this palette called Sculpt. So here's what Sculpt was looking like in January when I had first rolled it into this project. It was weighing 260.61 grams. This item has taken a lot of slow and steady work. The pan just kept getting deeper and deeper and it took me quite a bit of time to hit pan on this item, but I did finally hit pan on it a couple months ago. Here's what it was looking like when I had first hit pan on it. I had expanded it a little bit last month. It was looking like this. It was weighing 258.33 grams at that point. I reached for it 8 times in the past month and now weighs 257.83 grams. So I used 0.5 grams of product and here's what it's looking like today. And this is after 122 uses in this project. And I don't know how much of a difference you'll see in the pan size today. I tried to focus it more on that bottom edge so that I could eventually hit side pan. That would be satisfying. But I've been sharing my attention amongst this and another bronzer, as well as some eyeshadows that I've been using as bronzer. So this has not gotten a lot of use in the past month, only 8 uses. But I knew that this one was going to be on the back burner for a little bit, and I'm happy that I'm making just the small amount of progress that I am. 8 uses is better than nothing, and I will continue to go hard on this one through the end of the year once I get through my goal on the other bronzer products. So we'll get to that one soon. So this one is going to be around, it's definitely going to be around most of the rest of the year, if not the entirety of the remainder of the year. I did want to try and use up this product completely during this year. I don't know if that's going to happen at this point, but we'll see how far I can go and just take it from there. What else can you do? Next item is this blush palette, also came in January, and this is the e.l.f. blush palette. I have 4 shades of blush in here. I'm trying to hit pan on all 4 of those shades. Not trying to use this thing up entirely. That would be crazy, right? So here's what this blush palette was looking like back in January. I have been using this diligently. This is the only blush I've been reaching for pretty much. It was weighing 92.1 grams when I rolled it in. I have slowly been getting a few pans in here, first in that nude shade, then in that light pink. Here's what it was looking like last month. It was weighing 90.3 grams. I used it 14 times in the past month. Today it weighs 90.12 grams. So I've used 0.18 grams of product. And here's what it's looking like today. That is after 174 total uses in this project. And I know it says that I used 0.18 grams, but that is not an accurate depiction of the amount of product I used because a little chunk of product fell out of this shade here, this nude kind of terracotta blush. On the side here, you can see where it kind of chunked off. So that one just went into the waste. It didn't get used as a makeup item on my face, but it does reflect in the weight there. But I'm really hoping to have pan on this shade very soon. That's the one I've really been focusing on all summer. I'm surprised I don't have a pan on it yet. It's quite a pigmented shade. A little bit does go a long way. I have it on my cheeks today. It has a nice glow to it, so I love it for this time of year. And I'm really hoping to go hard on it for the next month or 2 and hopefully have a pan on it sooner than later, because this one is going to be the real challenge and I'm really going to have to focus in on that shade. And how am I going to be able to do that if I don't hit pan on this one first? So that is all for this update. Kind of a boring one to track for now, but I'm really hoping that soon we'll have some nice visual progress to share with you on this one. And if nothing else, it's getting a ton of use during this year. And by the end of the year, no matter where it's at, I'll probably be ready to part ways with this thing. Broken packaging being the primary reason. It's still a great product. It still performs well, still a great value in my eyes, but I've just had it for a very, very long time. My next year-long goal item is this Lippie stick from Colourpop. This is one of their lip liners, the shade Bossy, which of course is what I have on my lips today. How do you know I'm filming a project pan video? I'm wearing this red lip. So I'm trying to use this lip pencil 60 times over the course of the year, and that averages out to 5 times each month. So here's what Bossy was looking like when I had first brought it in January. It was weighing 6.73 grams. I've actually made some pretty steady progress on this, but some of that product has been lost due to user error and just, you know, falling in my carpet and embedding there, as some of you may know. So here's what it was looking like last month. It was weighing 3.9 grams. I used it 7 times in the past month, which is the most that I've ever used it in 1 month. Today it weighs 3.46 grams. So I used 0.44 grams of product, and here's what it's looking like today. And it is getting to be quite small and nubby. I've used this a total of 34 times during the course of this year. I should be at 35, so I'm 1 use behind. That means I'm gonna carry that use over to the next month and try and use this 6 times during the month of August, so I can just be at my neutral starting point in September. Who knows, I might even go over that 6 uses and get a little bit of a jump start. Wouldn't that be nice? But I'm really happy with where I'm at with this pencil. I have been marking it in my book as well. So I'll show you here. There you can see where it was in January. I was here in July, just last month, and I was able to use up that much product in those 7 uses. So not a huge jump, but remember this huge jump here is because of a loss of product. So it's a nice gradual jump. And I have been comparing this to Contempo, which I just panned this year, and that's where the end point is for Contempo. So I have about that much more pencil left. And I did have a little surgery I had to do on this pencil that broke, so I had to kind of like glue it back together. So I might lose some more product along the way. I'll be happy if I even get to 60 uses. I might not even get there. I might be emptying out this product in the next maybe 20 uses. I am predicting. So that would just be amazing to finish an entire red liner in 1 year. I never expected that to happen. I thought 60 was a pretty lofty goal to begin with. And just knowing that by setting that small goal, I was able to do something that seems really, really hard, that feels really good. So exciting update here. We're going to continue to chip away on this one, and it might be an empty sooner than later. Next is the foundation that I'm working on, the Kosas foundation, and I have been working on this since March of this year. It was weighing 117.34 grams when I first brought it into this project, and I am making very good progress on it, but it is still not empty yet. I'm not even going to try and include progress videos here because it is still completely opaque. It does not look... No, yeah, that's like a smudging on the outside. Yeah, it doesn't look different at all from when I rolled this in, but it is very, very light. I can feel it in my hand, and I know I'm getting close, but there is still product in here. When I brought it in, it was weighing 117.34 grams. Last month, it was weighing 99.77 grams. I used it 28 times in the past month, making for 97 uses total, and today it weighs 92.65 grams. So I've used 7.12 grams of product in the past month, and I still have more product to go. The pump is still working. I think I had my first little air bubble in the pump maybe today or yesterday, and that's because it was laying on its side. But there's still product down at the bottom there that this pump is bringing up without much difficulty. But I think the day's coming soon where I'll be able to remove that pump and start fishing out whatever foundation I can from this bottle and hopefully get an empty on this by next update. I'm really hopeful. According to my math, I have used nearly 25 grams. So this is a 1 ounce container, which means 28 fluid ounces. Sometimes that can be larger. I think a fluid ounce can be like 28 point something grams. So a little bit more than a regular ounce, but all the same, there can't be more than at most 4.5, 5 grams of product remaining in here, and I can easily go through that in a month. So hopefully this will be empty by next update, but I have really been enjoying using it, and I'm so happy that I got my money's worth during the time that it was good. As of July 1st, it was officially expired according to Kosas, but I've been using it all the same, and it's not been giving me any kind of reaction or anything, but I have been making sure to use a lot of SPF underneath it because the SPF in here is dead at this point, or not as effective as it should be. So hopefully one more month with this one. And it might just happen that if I finish that sooner than I think, I will go ahead and roll in my next foundation that I want to pan. This one's from The Ordinary. It's their coverage foundation. So if I need to bring this in a week early, I will, and just give you updates on how much I was able to use it from the time that I bring it in. So not sure if this is coming in this month, but stay tuned. You might see it soon. This next item is a hair care item. This is from Bedhead Small Talk. It is their Thickifier, Energizer, and Stylizer. I love this for adding to my naturally existing texture in my hair. It really enhances my texture and takes it from like a messy, kind of frizzy wave to a more defined, purposeful looking wave. It still looks a little bit messy though, but I'm kind of trying to embrace that heatless style that I get with this product. So I'm really trying to use this one up this year, and it is a slow and steady race, but we'll see how far we go. And I think now that I'm just getting more used to this item and wearing my hair in a more wavy style, that I will hopefully get more use on this in the next couple months, especially now that I'm starting school and I'm going to be kind of lazy. I'm not going to want to be blow drying my hair, and this is a nice little shortcut from that. Although it just makes me need to wash my hair more often. Okay, I'm blabbering on. I'll insert pictures of where my thumb mark was on this because it's really hard to see through the bottle. So just look at where my finger is pointing to as we go down this bottle from month to month, and you'll be able to hopefully get an idea of the progress I've been able to make throughout this project. Here's what it was looking like last month. It was weighing 204.64 grams. I reached for this 5 times in the past month. Today it weighs 189.06 grams. I've used 15.59 grams of product, and I've used it 20 times total. So just about halfway, I think a a little bit more than half, right about there. So I'm happy about that from March until August. It's about 5 months of use. I have 5 months left to go in the year. So who knows, that might mean I can get this finished by the end of the year, especially if I amp up my uses a little bit. I'm excited to continue on with this one and see how far we can go. It'll feel very satisfying to have this empty if we get there. And I'm just having fun experimenting with my hair and kind of seeing what works well with it and what I can do with different products, which is something I've never really done before. This is kind of a new territory for me. Next item is an eyeshadow primer from Milani. This item came into the project in April, and it was weighing 9.66 grams. And like I predicted, this thing is gonna take me forever. So here's what it's been looking like over the past several months. I don't think you're gonna see much of a difference at all, even though I've been using this consistently since I brought it in April, 4 solid months of use. Last month it was weighing 8.37 grams. I used it 16 times in the past month. Today it weighs 8.1 grams. So I've used 0.27 grams of product, and I've used it 74 times total. And here's what it's looking like today. And again, can you see a difference at all? I don't know. There's still a good amount of product in this reservoir down there. And I would not be surprised if this little tiny amount of eyeshadow primer in here lasts me through the rest of the year. So this one's sticking around. I had a feeling this would happen, and I'm not going to give up. It's just going to be a bit of an experiment to see how long this lasts. I'm not holding my breath, I'll tell you that. Next item is this Lippie stick from Colourpop. This is the shade Topanga. I brought this into the project in mid-May, May 15th, and it was weighing 10 grams. And my goal for this one was to use it up. I just flew through the shade Button previously during this year. And because I knew I could go through it so fast, I wanted to get this one in and out in the same way. So last month, this was weighing 9.58 grams. I used it 15 times during the past month, and today it's weighing at 9.4 grams. I used 0.18 grams of product, and here's what it's looking like today. And as you can see, it is empty. It's all the way down to the component, and I'm calling that one good. I did dig in there maybe once or twice to get a little bit of extra product for my cheeks or for my lips, but I didn't want to go any further than that. So this one is an empty, the first empty of the month. I emptied this after 41 uses, and I used up a total of 0.6 grams of product. And I do have a little drawing of this one as well in my book that I'll show you just for fun. Here's where it was when I brought it into the project in May. And then I used all that between May and July, and then just that little bit remaining is what I used up this past month with those 15 uses. And I'm happy to have another lipstick empty for this year. I'm really trying to hone in on my lipstick collection in particular, and we are getting there one by one. So that one is going into the empty bin. Item number 8 is another bronzer. This is from Tarte. This is the Park Avenue Princess bronzer, and this is the shimmery version of that bronzer. My goal for this item is to hit pan on it. I brought this into the project back in June. Perfect time for the summer months to enjoy a glowy bronzer like this. It was weighing 77.5 grams when I had first rolled it in, and it was looking like this. During the first month, I used it 22 times. It was looking like this, weighing 76.71 grams. And during the past month, I reached for it 23 additional times. Today, it weighs 75.86 grams. So I've used 0.85 grams in the past month, and here's what it's looking like today. Now, this is after 45 uses total, and you'll see there is a nice little dip forming, but no pan is in sight yet. And I think I was just feeling a little bit confident and cocky on this bronzer. I was like, oh yeah, like I'll hit pan on that, no problem. I'll just speed through it, but I was naive. They are not easy to hit pan on, especially when they're pretty much brand spanking new like this one was. So this one will stay in the project for at least another month. I'm really hopeful I'll have pan on it by next update because I really want to focus in on that other contour bronzer shade from the Tarteist Pro Glow palette, but this actually pairs quite well with that bronzer. That one is much more cool toned, functions more as a contour, and then this one adds a nice bronzy glow that I can easily top over that other shade. I'm trying to get an indication of like how deep this pan is, but I really can't get a good idea. So it could be another month, it could be another 2 months, it could be a total clown moment for me and be 3 months or more. I'm hoping that's not the case, but you're gonna find out, same as me. So this one is staying in for now, but hopefully not for long. This next item was a little bit of a gimme item, but I had to give myself a break somewhere. This is from Smashbox. This is their Photo Finish Control Mattifying Primer, a little tiny sample size. And I brought this into the project in June, weighing 7.42 grams. Here's what it was looking like then. I used it only 2 times during the first month. It was weighing 6.66 grams and looking like this. In the past month, I reached for this 12 times. Today's weighing 2.47 grams, so I used up 4.19 grams of product. And here's what it's looking like today. And this one is completely empty. I don't know if you can totally see how empty it is because there's like air stuck in there, but I could not squeeze out any remaining product from this little tube. And this one is also going in the empty bin today. I'm happy I was able to get through this in 2 months. I didn't want it to hang around much longer than that. I used this 14 times total to use it up and used 4.95 grams of product, which it says in here, that should be about right. Yeah, it's 0.17 fluid ounces. That's about 5 grams. I'm like doing quick head math right now. I'm not gonna do it all out on my calculator, but from what I can roughly estimate, we used about the product. That one's empty. Second one for the month. And I'm just happy that this little thing doesn't have to be in my space anymore. And I've decided that mattifying primer is not necessary for my skin. I used this during these hot summer days that I was out and about and active, and I don't think it really did much. My skin was still sweaty, still dewy. It would be stopping me from producing extra oil, which my skin just doesn't do. I have quite normal to dry skin. So don't need a product like this, but I'm happy I at least know that now. I know that better than I did before, and a sample was a great way to teach me that. So all in all, it's a win. And the last item is this lipstick from Maybelline. This is their matte lipstick in the shade Almond Rose. So here's what this lipstick was looking like when I first brought it into the project in June. It was weighing 24.32 grams. During the first month, I used it 11 times. It was weighing 23.96 grams and looking like this. And in the past month, I reached for it 10 additional times. That's 10 additional days of use. Today it weighs 23.61 grams, so I've used 0.35 grams of product, and here's what it's looking like today. So I've now used it 21 times total in this project, and it is getting to be quite small and nubby. I really need to amp up my use on this by remembering to reach for it as a blush and get double the duty on it that way. And I'm hoping that with that strategy, I'll be able to get through this one a little bit faster. So here is the lipstick when I had first brought it in June. Here it was in July, and I have that little bit, maybe a little bit more than I did the month before during the month of July. So I still have quite a bit ways to go, maybe about 2 or 3 more months. I'm hoping 2, that would be better than 3 because I would love to get 1 final lip product into this project before the end of the year that I can get up and out of my collection before my inventory. So I'm already thinking, planning ahead, always thinking about what I want to pan next, what I want to get used up and out of my inventory. I've been going back and watching old inventory videos to really get a better idea of like what's been with me for how long and what I should start cycling out, like what's next in line, if you know what I'm saying. So with those 2 empties, I have 2 slots to fill, and it was kind of difficult for me to choose this time. I'm getting to be quite curated in my collection, but I still have certain categories that I'm still trying to winnow down, as well as categories that I need that extra push in order to finish certain items up. One of those categories is my liquid lipstick collection. I'm trying to cycle through all of my liquid lips and get use on them, make sure they're good, make sure I still like them. So I'm going to go ahead and give myself a little bit of a break by bringing one of those in. I grabbed this one from Laritzy Cosmetic. This is the shade Nudes, and this is an item that I got in a BoxyCharm. I've never really heard of this brand otherwise. If you're familiar with Laritzy, let me know in the comments below, but this is a very, very nude liquid lip. I am not sure if I love it. I wore it the other day and it was really deep, but I just think I didn't have it paired with the right makeup look. Not deep, but it just kind of made me feel a little bit dead. Like it didn't liven up and bring color to my face like I would want a lipstick to do typically. So I'm gonna give this one a little bit more of a shot. I'm gonna try and use it 5 times this month, see if the shade grows on me with other makeup looks. I did compare this to another liquid lip in my collection and it's very, very similar. And that one does have that slightly more pinky note that I prefer in my skin tone. I feel like these can make me feel kind of like dead zombie sometimes. Again, maybe that was just the look that I paired it with. So we're gonna give it a try. 5 uses on this one is my goal. And if I decide I like it well enough, it's gonna go back into my makeup collection. And maybe by that time, I'll be ready to focus on another bullet lip and have plenty of time to get that used up before the end of the year. But we're getting ahead of ourselves because right now I'm just have a small 5-use goal to experiment with my liquid lip collection that is collecting dust in that drawer back there. I also decided to bring in a loose powder and I grabbed this one from RCMA. This is in an old Tarte powder packaging from years ago, but this is the last remaining remnants of my RCMA No Color powder. I have the original packaging here, but as many of you know, it's like this weird spice shaker packaging and it's a nightmare. Gets everywhere. So I have put the remaining product in this little container and I'm getting very, very low on this powder. I'll show you where we're at today. I'm kind of going to use this crack in it as a reference point. So that is the level I'm at with this powder, just at the halfway point. I think I was a little bit more than halfway about a month ago when I had this in my plan to pan update for 2023. And I brought this in as an additional item that I would like to finish by the end of the year. It wasn't on my list before, but when I saw how close I was to finishing, I thought, why not give myself that push and just get this out of my inventory for good? I've probably had it for at least 4 or 5 years. I know this will get great use during my Halloween season that's coming up. We have a lot of body paint in mind and translucent powder is amazing for body paint. So this will be great to use on myself, on my friends, which there are 7 others of them. And I also can use this in my regular day-to-day routine for setting my makeup. Although I am using a lot less powder these days, definitely not on a regular basis. And maybe for like a special occasion when I really want to lock in makeup, but just not necessary for the day-to-day for me. So those are my 2 items. This one should be out by a month, I'm really hoping, and this one won't be difficult to finish through the end of the year. I'm excited to track it along with you, but I'm not trying to race through it. I think if I just reach through it as I go through this project pretty gradually, I'll be able to work through this one without a problem. So that's all for my project pan update today. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, again, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really does mean a lot to me. I just really want to thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it so much. I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world, and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Until then, bye.